This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield on ESPN Radio 94.1.
And welcome back to 757 Saturday Sports Talk on this first Saturday of October for 2020, the third day of October. Alongside the coach Ed Young, I am Matt Hatfield, Kyle Hightower as well. 757 Saturday Sports Talk brought to you by Larry King Law. If you're injured in an accident, you call 757-INJURED for Larry King. Our good friend Pat Doolin, former basketball coach at Churchland, texting in Notre Dame a lock. Ed speaking the truth today, as well as let him speak, Hatfield. I guess he's tired of hearing me talk. I'll just let you speak the rest of the show, Ed.
I'm cool with it. I'll chime in when I need to chime in.
All I'm going to say is if Notre Dame beats Clemson and you're both right, I will buy you whatever you want for lunch within the $50 ballpark. You're not getting like 2 filet mignons. I will buy you each a Notre Dame jersey, and I'll do a virtual sing-along. Cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame. They're very good, but I don't think they're beating Clemson. I'll take my medicine. And right now, you know what? I can glow a little bit. I'm 8-1. Now, listen, it's going to take a turn for the worst here. I'm just hoping when it takes a turn, you don't catch me.
I got, 5 losses?
You are 4-5 in the pick 3 selections. Our man Dino with the Dino Dog coming up in just a bit here. He is 2-1, so off a winning percentage, he could actually catch me here by the end of the week. So here we go. Let's fire it up, and Kyle will throw in some picks at the end as well for the week number 4 of the NFL Pick 3 selections. I'll go first. Ed will take the next 2. I'll take 2 from there, and Ed will finish up with his third and final selection. Where do I go to start? Well, you know, my only loss was the Washington football team, who let me down last week, even with a guy that began in the 7-5-7 and Jonathan Allen, who started out at Western Branch High in Chesapeake, went on to play at Stonebridge, where he lost to Jalen Holmes and Lake Taylor, Coach Hank Sawyer's team, in a state championship before going on to Alabama and got drafted by the then Redskins. They're now just a football team, and that football team will not play a good football game at home against the visiting football team known as the Baltimore Ravens, with Chuck Clark, an angry Chuck Clark, an angry Ravens team on the road. The line has fluctuated from 13.5 to 12.5 to 12, and now it's 14. I'm a little squeamish on the 14, but you know what? Washington, you're going to get drubbed this week. You're going to take it on the chin. Take the Ravens, never more than this week. Laying the 14 in D.C. Ed, you're 2.
I'm going New Orleans over Detroit, giving up 3.5. And I'm taking Arizona, giving up 3 over Carolina.
By the way, you know 6 Saints starters did not participate in Friday's practice and will not play against the Lions, including their stud wide receiver Michael Thomas, as well as Jared Cook, Marshawn Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins, Marcus Davenport, Andres Pete. I'm not trying to throw shade on your pick. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, let me change my pick.
Oh, you're going to change it now?
No, I'm going to stick with it, but let me say, watch Detroit win.
Watch Detroit win. All right, so to recap, your 2 picks there are?
New Orleans over Detroit.
All right.
New Orleans laying to 3.5, and Arizona giving up the 3 to Carolina.
You know what? Since I've been so mean to you today, I'm going to be a nice guy and give you Saints -3, since that's what I'm showing now. Is that fair for Kyle to do that? Give him the 3?
Give me the 3.
Yep. I'll give him the 3. That's what I'm showing here. And your other one again was?
Arizona over Carolina.
Oh, dear God.
Did that drop down to 1 point?
What are you showing it at?
3.
Arizona it's 3.5. I'll give you the 3. If you jinx this team, I'm not talking to you for 2 weeks. Cell phone's going to go straight to voicemail when you call. Just letting you know. All right, my next 2 before we get to Dino Franza. Everybody's waiting with bated breath for the Dino Dog here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. Brought to you by Larry King Law. And hey, it can be brought to you by your business too. The Pick 3 selections. They're red hot, hot, hot. 8-1 for me. Who's going to go with the Ravens -14? I'm so glad you didn't take my choices that I had written down on the sheet. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay laying the 7. We know Tyrod Taylor is still out for the Chargers going on the road here. I think this Buccaneers defense is somewhat underrated. They took it on the chin the first week against New Orleans, but they've bounced back nicely the last couple weeks. I think Tampa Bay, the Bucs, led by the former Cardinals coach with the beanie, Bruce Arians, will move to 3-1 overall, 2-0 at home on the season, and drop the Chargers to 1-3. Give me Tampa laying 7. I'm taking big favorites. I don't care if they're at home or on the road. I think this could be a week where we have some blowouts. So give me the Bucs to go with the Ravens, a couple of teams that won, Super Bowl 35, Super Bowl 36 there, then under John Gruden, and then under Brian Billick. And my last selection, I don't think Miami's that great. I know Seattle's very, very good. They're laying 6. The Seahawks are on the road against the Dolphins. And I'm doing Dino a favor, taking no dogs here. You're going to steal his dog probably like you did last week on the final pick. It's because that's the type of person you are, Ed. I'm a nice guy. Seahawks laying the 6 at Miami. I'm taking another hefty favorite here at Miami against the Dolphins. I know they played better last week on Thursday night, but guess what? That was because they played who? Jacksonville. They're playing the Seahawks here. I don't care about the West Coast to East Coast. Russell Wilson's going to continue his MVP campaign. A Virginia native, by the way, from Collegiate High School in Richmond. Give me the Seahawks laying the 6 to go with the Bucs -7 and the Ravens -14. Your final selection, Coach Edward Vincent Young, before we get to Dino Franza.
All right. Let's see. I know I was going to. No. Give me Dallas over Cleveland.
I'm showing -4.5. Is that what you're showing as well there?
I thought it was 4 now.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Kyle's going to have to be the arbitrator for this. What are you going to give him?
Kyle,
4 or
what you got?
4.5? What you got?
We'll give him 4.5.
We'll give him 4.5. Oh, no extra point this time. You cheated on the last two, Ed. This is a way to get back in the game here and get these half a points, which, by the way, have mattered immensely for us with the over-unders. I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
See, I was going to take the Eagles, but I'm staying away from the Eagles. Then I was going to take Minnesota. Those two teams have killed me all year, so I'm not touching either one.
Kyle thanks you, as does Jalen Holmes, for not touching either one of them.
I'm not touching either one. Watch them both win this week.
So, Ed, going with the Cowboys, laying the 4.5. The Cardinals laying the 3. The Saints -3. I got the Seahawks -6. The Bucs -7. The Ravens -14. We'll get Kyle's selections here in a moment, but that leaves the slate clean. No dogs stolen for our man Dino Franza with a Dino dog still recovering from the Cubs. Dino, I'm sorry you can't sing Go Cubs Go this year, but you have a chance to get to 3-1.
Well, that's right. I can't sing Go Cubs Go, but everybody will probably be happy that I can't sing it because, I just can't sing, as we found out back in 2016 when I did it last time. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, Dino.
Good morning.
All right. I thought about taking the Bears as a home dog, but I said, no, I can't do it. Foles is better coming off the bench. He's going to be the starter. I just can't do it. I thought about taking Cleveland as a dog, but then again, it's Cleveland. I can't do it. The Browns, like you said last week, Matt, they'll let you down at some point, and they probably will in that game. You think, though, they can beat the Cowboys. I thought about the Patriots on the road getting 7 at the Chiefs, but I just don't like that one. So I'm going to go with this dog right here. They're going against an undefeated team, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are giving the Las Vegas Raiders now 3.5 points. I think the Raiders cover that game. So I'll take, and it's gone up. It opened up at 2.5. It's gone to 3.5. So I'm going to go with the Raiders in that one, getting the extra point. So I'll take Las Vegas at home against the Bills for Dino's dog this week.
There you go. Raiders plus the 3.5 for Dino. And you missed it earlier in the show, Dino. In our intro, we had John Facenda, the Portsmouth, Virginia guy who was born there. The Autumn Wind is a Pirate, the Raiders song. And as you know, Ed is a big Raiders fan. That was part of our little intro, which also included, you'll have to hear it on the replay, the cling peaches in heavy syrup during my rant. So there you go. That goes with the theme of the show. You're on top of it today.
Yeah, and I was actually sleeping during that part of the show. So, yeah, I will have to listen to the podcast on ESPN Radio 941.com.
There you go, Dino. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get some sleep, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey, by the way, I'm getting ready to smoke some meat. I'm going to smoke some salmon, and I'm going to smoke some turkey legs, and maybe find something else to smoke, too.
All right.
Let's stay with the meats, Dino, so that we have you back here next Saturday.
All right. Looking forward to it.
That is Smoking Dino Franza, not Smoking Joe
Dino
Frazier.
Franza, yeah.
And Kyle is here. You're glad that Ed did not take the Eagles, correct?
Well, I'm not taking them.
Uh-oh.
Who do you like?
But I will one-up Dino. I've got 2 dogs for you.
Ooh.
I do think his Bears win this game, so I'm going to take them with the +3 against the Colts. Nick Foles going up against his former quarterback whisperer that brought him back to life in Frank Reich. I think that brings back some memories. I think they win this one. I really want to go with the over-under on that game, too, because I think it's going to be higher than 43. But I'm going to stay away from that one. I'll hit another one in a second. I also think the Jags at +2.5 against Cincinnati. Gardner Minshew, I do not see him losing 3 games in a row. He's going to have a bounce back after a bad game against the Dolphins. He's going up against the Bengals. team that hasn't lost in 2 weeks. They did tie last week, but I think the Jags win this one. And then my last one, the over-under. I'm hammering the over on Ravens and Washington because I think the Ravens might get there themselves at 45.5.
There you go.
I'll say that Washington gets a touchdown, so I'm going to think this game's going to be like 42-7.
Yeah, we can do that. We can give them that. That's fine with me. I'll be very happy if it's 42-7 Ravens. So there you go. Kyle's picks. He's going over 45. Over 45.5 for Kyle on the Ravens and the Washington football team, plus 2.5 for the Jags and plus 3 for the Bears. Dino's dog, the Raiders plus 3.5. Ed Young going with the Saints minus the 3. We give him the 0.5 point there against the Detroit Lions. The Cardinals lay in the 3, and Carolina and the Cowboys minus 4.5. I've got the Ravens minus 14 against the Washington football team. The Bucks lay in the 7 at home against the Chargers, and Seattle minus the 6 on the road in the Sunshine State. The pick 3 selections for week number 4 in the NFL, and you catch all the football action and so much more when it comes to sports right here on ESPN Radio 94.1. You're home for the Super Bowl, the World Series, the finals. We got it all here.